10 spiritual ways of identifying the exact source of negative energies in your life. Do this, and all sources of negative energies, evil attack, demonic influences in your life will be exposed to you. 10 spiritual ways of exposing every source of negative energies, demonic attack, demonic influences, and malevolent forces in your life. By God's grace, in today's video, I wish to share with you 10 strategic ways you can actually dictate in exact and explicit terms where the sources of negative energies, negative forces, malevolent forces are coming to your life. Because believe me, based on my divine knowledge, every problem, negativity, attacks that any man or woman is suffering on this planet Earth have undertone from an individual person like you existing on this earth. Reason is this: we human beings are the ones that God has given power to subdue, dominate, and rule this earth. In other words, no evil force have the power to operate and work against you, except somebody has engineered that evil force through either demonic rituals or through making unwholesome sacrifices to certain demonic entities in order to empower them to start troubling humans. That even when people are suffering from a generational cause, suffering from all sorts of evil, it is still human being that engineered it, because most of the times it may be because of evil committed against human and it made utterance. Because believe me, blessing is spirit, curse is spirit. That was why when Jacob received patriarchal blessing, now Jacob left with just a staff from his father's house, then went run to Laban's house after he has collected the patriarchal blessings. But when he went there, he was extremely blessed, simply because the blessing he received is a spirit. But you notice that Esau stayed back in his father's house, yet he was nowhere close to the level that Jacob operated. That is to tell you that blessings is spirit, curse is a spirit. So even if curse is following you, even if there are some challenges you are passing through, it is man-made to a great extent. Yes, it might actually be the deed of the forefathers, it might actually be the deed of people that are living presently, but by God's grace, if you follow me to the end of today's video, you'll find that 10 spiritual ways of actually dictating the actual source of negative energy or certain challenges you are going through. But before then, please give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube algorithm will shift it to other people that need it. As you do so, may God bless you. Welcome back to Jenny Action TV. In this particular channel, I discuss 3 important variables which actually have safety and spirituality. In this channel, we pray strategic prayers, we read the word of God in our heart, we believe in balance. That is why we do spiritual work. So if this is the very first time you are finding yourself in this beautiful family, you are highly welcome. Please kindly hit the red subscribe button and the bell notification so as to always get my next upload. For my returning subscribers, I love you so much. Thank you for always stopping by. So without wasting time, let's dive in. Now, once you notice that you are being bedfouled by lots and lots of negativity, you go for job interview, you are rejected, even though that you know that you are qualified for this job, you are the most qualified, but somehow mysteriously you see yourself rejected. You also notice that in the office you are hated for no just cause. You walk like elephant, you eat like a rat. You also notice that in your marriage, your marriage has been okay, and suddenly there is certain crisis, unexplainable crisis. You notice that in your workplace, that every work you do, you seems to end up in mistakes, things that doesn't happen before. You notice also that you are now having a leaking pocket. Your money is being wasted from your hand every day. If your car did not break down, the sink in kitchen will break down. If the sink did not break down, sock away pipe will break. Something that will make you to be spending unnecessary money must be happening. You are just overwhelmed by negativity. You dream bad dream every time. You are hearing a kind of strange voices, and probably you always hear the voice of evil birds around you. You have a kind of noticing some recurring evil around you, and you have tried everything possible to know why this is happening or to stop it, you couldn't. Now, these 10 ways are how you can find out. One, reflect on your relationship. You have to consider all the people around you. Like I used to tell you, in spirituality, everybody is a suspect. You don't need to trust so much on individuals, on people, irrespective of their relationship with you. So you have to shake out if in the past, in the present, or anyhow you happen to have quarrel with someone, because sometimes you might have quarrel with somebody, maybe in the office, anywhere. You might even settle and you think that the person have forgotten about it. People can be wicked. It may give you time. 1 month, 2 months later, that person will now begin to do certain things to work against you. So you will now shake very well if anyone is harboring evil feelings and bad intention about you. Then that is one of the spiritual ways of finding out. But that does not mean that you will go ahead and attack that person or begin to do some spiritual work against that person or prayers against that person when you are not 100% sure. That's why there are 10 ways. The next one is you need to pay attention to recurring pattern. What pattern is actually recurring? Let's take, for instance, every time you go to look for a job, one issue or the other will crop up. You will be rejected. Why? People that you are better than gets that job, and then probably you also notice that this recurring pattern is not all about you. It is happening to almost every member of the family. Then you have to understand that this one might actually be generational cause, ancestral bloodline causes, and so on and so forth. So you now tackle it in that way. The third one is trust on your intuition. You should know one way or the other that you have a guardian angel. If you have accepted Christ as your Lord and personal Savior and have deep relationship with God, you also have a Holy Spirit. To a great extent, take it or leave it, some of your ancestors, one way or the other, visit you. That is why you dream about them. So you have to listen and pay attention to your intuitions to know whether you are getting certain feelings and suspicion towards somebody, because most of the times when you are relating with somebody and each time the person comes close to you, you are having ill feeling, you are having negative feeling towards that person. It is a kind of warning signal that there is something not normal about this person that you might need to detach. Imagine each time somebody have to come to you, your left ear will start vibrating. If your left ear is not vibrating, your left eye is crashing you. If your left eye is not scratching, it will start twitching. If it is not twitching, your left palm will start scratching you, your left leg. Any of those signs that is happening from the left is always sign of bad luck and bad energy. So whenever this person is close to you, you're experiencing that, my dear, you may need to withdraw and detach from that person, because he or she might actually be the source of your negative energy. Another one is that you might also need to seek spiritual guidance, spiritual help, and then maybe have personal consultation with a spiritual person. He will can help and guide you in order to overcome your negativity, and also can give you guide on how to actually discover the real person that is behind your problem. Because take it or leave it, there are certain secrets that may never be shared on YouTube channel for any spiritual person that wants his or her honors. It is only when you consult them personally that they may give you such high profile information. So another one is that you have to practice self meditation and what I call self journaling, writing, because whatever you write down have high vibration frequency in the universe. So in other words, you have to write down your thoughts, you write down your experiences, and write down your feelings and some of the patterns you have been experiencing. By the time you continue writing it down and begin to monitor scenario around you, you will be able to dictate your source of negative energy. For example, you notice that when somebody calls you on phone, a particular person might be a relation, an evil will happen. You and your partner will start quarreling. You will suddenly lose money that day, and this person calls whenever you receive salary or whenever money comes to your hand. you know that this person is a monitoring agent, and then you may need to block that person and stop answering the person's call. And you may not find that immediately, but because you are documenting it, that on so 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 date I lost so 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 money, so 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 date this happened, so 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 date, and they will reoccurring each time you receive salary. That is when this is happening. And then by the time you sit down to analyze it, you notice that all of them have attachment to one person, attachment to a particular event, attachment to a particular scenario, attachment to the fact that you went to a place. It might even be the church you are going. It's not all church that is rooted in Christ. Notice that every day you have gone to church and come back, you'll be oppressed in the dream. You will the dream where you are having fun. You will have some strange dream, and probably each of those churches you went, the man of God actually laid hand on you. You don't need a prophet to tell you that it is time to change church, that something is not right about that church. And you may not find that immediately unless you are documenting it. So that is another way. Another way is this: you can perform some cleansing ritual. Do you know that there are certain spiritual cleansing you do? It opens your eyes to dream. Like when you do cleansing with bitter leaf, neem leaf, and then maybe coconut water is added to your cleansing bed, and so on and so forth. To a great extent, even boiling bay leaf to bed, it grants you access into having dreams to a great extent that will open your eyes to see what is happening to you or where the source of your problem is coming from, so that you'll be able to quench it and no longer be attached to that source. Another one is you can use certain natural tools that God has created. For example, you can get the onions and get 7 pieces of needle pin like this. I made a video about spiritual powers of pin, how you can give you accurate results, because you might actually use these onions to diagnose a particular scenario, may not still get accurate result. I'll pin it in this particular video in order for you to get more information and insight. Then you decide to get this pin 7 and then knock these onions for 10 times and begin to pin it. Oh God, the creator of the universe, I've been having constant bad dream, eating in the dream, and then always bad luck wherever I go, that I wish that you expose to me the exact source without any mistake where this is coming from. You now, from your left hand, get a hanky you have never used before, wrap it, because you have to pin it like this in such a way that it will not wound you. Put it gently under your pillow and sleep. In other words, raise pillow completely, put it down, not on top where you put your head. By God's grace, you will have a correct dream. You leave it for 3 good days of where the source is coming from. After you remove the pin and throw away or dispose these onions, you can actually also dispose the pin. Pin is not costly, you can actually buy a new one. By God's grace, you get accurate results. So this is another way, spiritual way, you can actually find out. Another one is you can actually decide to set boundaries and protect yourself. This aligns with the first point that I mentioned. If you are already suspecting somebody, you are having you feeling that this person, in order to consolidate it, you might start withdrawing from that person for some time to notice if that thing that is reoccurring will still happen. Then when you now start setting like boundaries, and then from that boundaries, like the time at a time Bible say come out from among them and be separate, and it might even be your relative. Then you now decide to cut off from that person for some time, and then you start practicing more of spiritual practice like visualization, making positive affirmation over yourself, protective affirmation. I am highly protected, I am too defended to be a victim, no weapon fashioned against me shall prosper, any man that shall rise against me in judgment God will condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, because their righteousness is of the Lord, because my righteousness is of the Lord. No weapon ever fashioned against me will prosper. Is there anyone they have fashioned already? Back to the sender, according to Isaiah 54:17. When you are now constantly developing this affirmation and making it, then you notice that that negative energy, negative forces, and negative things you are passing through start reducing, and you start hearing bad news about that person, because you have been saying any one that will arise against me in judgment, that you're sending it back to the sender. You notice that that person now report is coming that is now having some problems which we are looking like what we are having before. You don't need any prophet to tell you that your problem is from there, and you may never reunite with that person. You have to cut off completely so as to live a peaceable and a quiet life. Another one is seek support. Try to support yourself with people with positive mindset, that can encourage you. You can actually detach from old relationship and form new relationship. Human beings are relational being. No matter your situation, there is never a time you can say you can be an island of yourself. The only thing is that Jesus was moving with people, even have disciples. Bible says he never committed himself to any of them. Don't just commit yourself to anybody in the sense that everything about you this person is holding it. No, but to a great extent you have some cordial relationship with one or two persons that is different from the people you used to have relationship with, and the God can through that and give you some divine insight and divine revelation and divine words that can actually expose the source of your problem, because God doesn't actually work in vacuum. He works through human beings and then walk through circumstances around you. Most of the spiritual work I came to learn actually come from the fact that people have some challenges. So when they meet me, to a great extent, when I pray about it, I'll get a direction that I know I have never seen anywhere. Once I tell that person to apply it, the person gets immediate result. So one way or the other, the same way when you link to new relationships that are positive, through them you might learn new ways and new lessons, and God can actually use those people to minister to you. And then you'll be able to dictate the source of your problem and then be able to cater for it, because sometimes we actually thinking is projection might not actually be projection. For instance, if you finish eating granite now and leave the peels in front of your house, main door leading to your house, something will happen that will involve police case that will happen to you. Let's take for instance, you now drive out to go and do your normal business. Police will stop you for no just maybe we show me your paper from there. One thing lead to the other, you will start spending money. You may think that somebody has manipulated bad luck for you. You wouldn't know that it's simple action and inaction that you have done. Now, when you are close to certain people that are spiritually inclined, by the time they expose this type of thing to you, say, oh, this might be what happens so day. You will now be able to know the source of your problem. That's why I tell you, one of the ways to survive in this world is live kingly, becoming grace life. Because for kings, where they're living in their palace, there's no how somebody will just eat granite and leave it there without packing it. There is already servants everywhere trying to keep everything decently and in order. So even in absence of servant, become the servant of your home and keep all your house everything decently and in order, so that you use your hand and attract negative energy and you are accusing somebody. So the last but not the least is this: you must understand that we are living in this world. Bible said in this world you will have tribulation, in Christ you will have peace. So long as you have in this world, from time to time, whether you like it or yes, negativity will crop up from one area of the other. All you need to do is know it is natural to be part and parcel of your life, and the more negative energy you conquer, the higher you grow spiritually. So all you need to do is stay always positive and amidst negative energy. Try to find some spiritual direction, spiritual work, spiritual cleansing, spiritual rituals that will actually help you to get rid of the negative energy. Don't allow yourself to dwell much and thinking, illuminating, and confessing negative because of the negative energies. Because actually, we are manifestational being. Whatever you engage your thoughts, your actions, and your feeling about, TFA, your thoughts, your feelings, and action, thinking, feeling, and always talking about, to a great extent stores in your subconscious, and your subconscious will always bring it to your reality. So if you want negativity to stop around you, stop thinking about negativity, and whenever you see it, always convert it to positive. Even if you are feeling headache now, so God, I thank you because you are working on my brain. My brain will be like electric brain now. I am going to be excelling above all limitations. I'm going to be thinking out ideas that will stand me out in my world. Just by doing that, even if it is somebody that casted that arrow will neutralize because of the power of your confession, because confession leads to possession, and it's only word of mouth that God used to create the entire universe. So why not go and try this and see how your life will transform to a greater dimension? If you have not subscribed to be part of this family, what are you waiting for? Please smash that red subscribe button and the bell notification so as to always get my next upload. Comment on this video, share it widely to everyone. My sure be helping a lot of people as you do so. May God bless you. So with this I say enjoy your day.